stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels slow motion, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Hello race fans and welcome back to Sim Racing Media. It is the season opener for season 54 of the Western States Racing League. We are live here from Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park, and it is a gorgeous night for racing. There'll be 160 laps here tonight at this 0.68 mile racetrack, just a hair over 2/3 of a mile. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I'm Liam Irving, joined up in the booth by Alan Bergen. Alan, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing awesome. It's Tuesday night, season 54. Let's go. This league, Liam, I pointed out to off the air. This league has been around longer than Survivor by 4 seasons, but we are lined up, ready to roll, rock and roll. 160 laps. Let's get down to that starting lineup.
Starting on the pole today is going to be Heath Smith with Bentley Glazer to his outside. Bob Beltrami in row number 2 with Jacob Jensen, last year's champion. Wayne Hutchison got a race win last year. He's going to start in 5th with Ray Partridge to his outside. Charlie Widener, a 2-time winner last year, with Jeff Wills to his outside. William Fletcher with Charles Woods, rounding out your top 10 here. Got Paul Ray and Wayne Fleet, followed by Julian Ritchie and Chris Walker. John Kenyon with Earl Weaver to his outside. Barry Phil and James Dewar make up row number 9. And in row 10, rounding out the top 20, Ryan Steele and David Weaver. Jeff Hollingsworth and Justin Michael in 21st and 22nd, followed by Brian Barnes and Michael Milfeld Jr., who got himself a win last year. Scott Kukas and Keith Kelman. And then rounding out the field, we've got Dustin Burns. I'm not sure if Troy Campbell is going to be in the show here or not. But the field is rolling. Heath Smith in the 2-car this week. He's going to be representing those Oregon Ducks as always. And Alan, going to have a couple of pace laps here to talk about it. But we've got a lot of very familiar faces and a lot of very competitive drivers coming back for season number 54.
Yeah, absolutely. What a fun night this is going to be. Liam, I'm glad that I get to be on the talking point and not on the racetrack this week, but nonetheless 160 laps. And Liam, I got to tell you, we're going to watch 2 races tonight. We're going to watch the race in the front, but we're also going to watch the race in the back. It's not a matter of if you get lapped, it's a matter of when you get lapped.
Yeah, that's a good point here. We've got a very short track here. So it's not going to take long for these leaders to catch up to the tail end of this pack. IRP here just about 5 or 10 miles west of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Under the lights here to open up 2026 season number 54 for the Western States Racing League. These drivers coming up out of turn number 4. Heath Smith going to lead them down. Bentley Glazer on his outside. Green flag is in the air for the first time in 26. Heath Smith's going to lead him down into turn 1, but which lane is going to have the advantage on this first lap? Look at the 15 up on the outside. Gets a little loose.
Yeah, that 15 truck of Bentley Glazer, he's mired to that outside. He's got to figure out a way. We got to get some heat in them tires. But that outside line's going to come in quite nicely as we are side by side. And like we talked off air, that outside line, we got the feeling that that's going to be the restart line.
Oh, we got one a little bit sideways there. Coming up off of the corner, I believe that was 96 of Crumray. He saves it. He's working the inside of Julian Ricci right now. Heath Smith led the first lap of 2026. He's got Bentley Glazer behind him. Jacob Jensen, last season's champion, 6 race wins on the season. He's looking to keep that momentum going. He's sitting in 3rd place. Wayne Hutchison also got himself a race win last year, but he's looking for more this year. Bob Beltrami rocking the top 5, and he's been a consistent top 5 driver, still trying to get a win. First one in a while it would be if he can get it done.
Yeah, one of the drivers I got my eye on this season is Bentley Glazer. Jacob Jensen, the defending champion of the season last year. But we got caution. We got a caution. Barry Phil.
Barry Phil has gone around down the back straightaway, brings out the caution for the first time today. Let's take a look and see what happened to that 98 truck. Oh, it just goes out from under him. Kind of working that seam, coming up off of turns 1 and 2, and he's going to take it straight to the pits. Not sure if... it looks like it fired up there for a second, but...
Yeah, I mean, you're going to lose so much time towing to the pits. Good on Bentley. He didn't hang a left. Or a right. He just hung a left, kind of parked it, and then decided he was going to tow to the pits for reasons unknown. I don't know, but it looks like he didn't hit nothing.
No, I don't think he hit anything either. Might have just been unable to get it into reverse, potentially. Keith Kelman's going to come in and top off on fuel. See if that ends up benefiting him later on in the race. Nobody else decided to come into the pits this time around. Heath Smith is still your race leader after starting on the pole.
Yeah, Keith Kelman and that number 0 High Rock Vodka paying homage to Dale Jr.'s vodka company. And speaking of small coffee or small drink companies, don't you guys have a Caribou Coffee Company up there in Minnesota?
We do. We do.
I learn things. I learn things when I work with people.
It's good stuff. It's better than Starbucks.
That's fair.
James Dewar has come
That's
into
fair.
the pits. 44 truck making a pit stop here in that Clubtails Ford F-150. Might have a little bit of... Yeah, he just had a little touch of damage on the front end. Get that bumper pulled out. Make sure it's all good to go for 155 more laps here at IRP. First caution here, working lap number 8, and the lights are off on the pace truck. Alan.
Yeah, we're going to get them doubled back up here. And, well, you know, some of these drivers did come down pit road. Very full 3 laps down. That toe's going to cost them a lot of time, but you never know. We may get some caution flags, and he may be into this thing by the time it gets over with. But, nonetheless, iRacing.com pace car, the lights are out and on the speedway. As the Oregon Ducks car of Bentley, Heath Smith and Bentley Glazer to his outside get ready to come back to green through the United Rental restart zone. And we are back to green flag racing here at IRP.
Clean up front so far, but going back, we're double wide everywhere. A little bit of 3 wide here with Milfelt in the middle.
Wow. And that is right there in the area of Earl Weaver also. Justin Michael Meyer to the outside. They're going to get that sorted out. We're not missing anything in the front. We got to keep our eye on this action back here.
Yeah, things will start to single file out here. It's early on. Oh, sideways is the 11, Julian Ritchie. He's going to save it, but he's going to come up the racetrack in front of Milfelt. Fantastic.
What a save by Julian Ritchie.
Yeah, incredible stuff there, keeping it straight. He's got a little bit of a ding on that left side door, but he's going to be able to continue on. Milfelt now trying to work the inside. Going to be side by side behind them, too, with Jeff Wills. You mentioned Justin Michael just a little bit ago. He's working the inside of John Kenyon, 87 versus 88 here, and Michael's going to cut down low, get a little bit of an advantage going down the front straightaway. But Justin Michael, you talked about him. If he's able to show up each and every week, he's going to be somebody to contend with week in and week out. He's up 9 positions from where he started, the 22nd spot after 11 laps, going to be 12 when they cross the line, and 1 caution flag. This 87 truck is really moving through the field, Alan.
Yeah, definitely they are getting sail fouled out now. As we go back to that number 88 truck of John Kenyon, paying homage to the Biff. And he's got that Trackhouse number 88 on there. Boy, that's a beautiful looking truck.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal truck there. And a lot of these guys have beautiful paint schemes week in and week out. It's always nice to see what the designers can bring to the track. Getting back up front, though, Jacob Jensen was able to take away second place from Bentley Glazer, and he is all over the rear bumper of your race leader, Heath Smith.
You can see Jacob Jensen going to the outside. He's taking a peek, not doing anything aggressive. He's going to have to set this move up laps in advance. You know, and here, Heath Smith knows he's there. And Jacob Jensen's even got Bentley Glazer right up his tailpipe, too. So, I mean, it's going to come down. He's going to have to move. Heath Smith, Jacob Jensen will have to.
Yeah, but it's so early in the race. You don't want to make enemies this early. We saw last time these guys raced here, a little bit of contact racing for the lead. Both drivers, I believe it was Jensen and Swearingen, racing for the lead, ended up getting into the wall after falling through the pack a little bit, and both drivers ended up being out of the race. So you don't want to have those types of incidents, those types of tempers flaring super early, especially once these guys start getting up to lap traffic, like you mentioned, they are absolutely going to. Here comes Jensen looking down to the inside. Then something's going to have to give. Jensen all the way down to the bottom, going to slide up middle. Plenty of space from the 2 up top. Jensen's going to have the advantage. A little bit of wall contact. Jensen sends it back in on the bottom. He's going to try to slide up in front of Heath Smith in the 2. Jensen stays back down on the bottom. What kind of run can the two get? Gonna try to cross him over. Getting down into the inside into turns 3 and 4. Back down to the bottom goes Heath Smith.
These guys are getting ready to start trading sliders like they're at White Castle. Jacob Jensen takes the lead. Here comes Bentley Glazer. He's taking a peek to the outside. And that outside line's starting to come in, and those tires are starting to fire off. Now Heath Smith, he can sort of hit the reset button because we are getting close to lap traffic. It's going to be within the next 10 to 20 laps that we hit lap traffic, and then we're going to see what kind of driver Jacob Jensen is, as he's got to navigate those lap trucks.
Now we got Keith Kelman, who's just a couple of, I'd say he's probably 9 seconds in front of the race leaders right now. Then it's a little bit of a gap up to Barry Phil and James Dewar, but look at this top 6. They are absolutely nose to tail. Separation from Jeff Wills of about 2 seconds back to 7th place.
Now, how much is it that top 5 is kind of learning that line that's going to propel them to maybe make a run at Jacob Jensen? I mean, how much of this race are you just learning from the car in front of you on how to get around here if you're not, you know, because there's some guys.
Oh, a little bit of contact here with Fleet and Milfelt. Little Rubbins race in action on the short track. Milfelt's going to take advantage of that. Be able to get clear by a car length or so, and we'll see if the 23 of Chris Walker can follow him through.
Definitely here, that 20, that 155 truck, making it happen there. As we got battles all over the racetrack. We got a little street wide action going on here. Wow. And this is in the neighborhood of that John Kenyon area right here, where Julian Ritchie and Earl Weaver are duking it out.
Caution is out once again. Wayne Fleet has got around. Just in front of the group we were watching as well. Chris Walker had himself a bit of an off track as well. So these two get together, coming up off of turn 2. Around goes the 6. Around goes the 23. Little bit of wall contact from Walker, but Wayne Fleet will spin out back up the racetrack to bring out that second caution flag of the race. Just after 24 laps complete now.
Definitely. You know, and that goes back to the question, is if you're Heath Smith, how much are you actually learning from Jacob Jensen on how to get that line, and when do you make that move to try to get that top spot away from Jacob Jensen here?
Well, we've seen how fast Jacob's going to be on these initial green flag runs. He's quick the first 25 laps of the race. So I wonder if you almost got to hope that he's using up his stuff early and maybe you get the chance to chase him back down later. We know how quick this kid is. I mean, obviously he won the championship for season number 53. Won 6 times on the year. Even with drop weeks, basically had it all clinched up before the last race. So we know he's going to be quick. He's going to be tough to beat. But nobody's impossible to beat. Unless you're Max Verstappen in 2021.
Oh. Look, Jacob Jensen looking to pick up right where he left off, and that's up front. But, you know, it's a long season. It's a long season.
It really will be a long season here. We've got, I think, 20 races. Let me double check the schedule here.
Yep, 20 races.
20 races going all the way to June.
Yep. And next week we're in Iowa. I mean, 140 laps in Iowa. So all the way up until February 5th, when we hit Daytona, we're at short track, National Super Speedway, North Wilkesboro. I mean, the schedule's diverse as it is.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome start to the season before we hit Daytona, but we've got a restart coming our way. Jacob Jensen, Heath Smith, green flag, and Jensen snookers him on the restart. Here comes Bentley Glazer, not quite able to make that move on Smith. Jensen slides up the racetrack. It's going to allow Smith to close in just a little bit while Wayne Hutchison is working the outside of Bentley Glazer.
Yeah, definitely. There's that 17 truck. That's Wayne Hutchison. He's no stranger to the front of this field either, as we have got some nice aerial views. Thank you from the truck. Charlie Widener and that number 95 truck. He's up there in that 7th position. Here comes Justin Michael up 16 spots already, and we're only 30 laps in.
Absolutely fantastic drive so far. Almost a little bit of contact there. Widener and Wills racing hard coming up off of the corner. Justin Michael continues his march forward. He's going to try to take away 5th from Wayne Hutchison. He does take away 5th place, and now he's chasing down Bob Beltrami. It's 1.6 seconds off of the race lead right now. He's got a big old meat truck in front of him to worry about.
The Beltrami salami there, as we are looking at the 74 truck gonna catch the wall, and that is Jeff Wills running the Meyer Paints game in it.
Partridge got it too. He's gonna send it in there. He gets right to the back bumper of Wills. Advantage Wills off of the corner, but the entry speed out of that Dog Bear machine is phenomenal.
Now let me ask you this. We know Dodge Rams are coming to NASCAR. When they get those scanned in the trucks, how many guys are going to switch from Toyota to Dodge? I think Dodge is going to have the advantage.
I think it's bold to assume that Toyotas are the only ones that'll switch. There's a lot of Fords in here, a lot of Chevys too. Here comes Hollingsworth up to the outside to take away a top 10 spot from Partridge. These guys have been battling it out for that 10th position, for that 9th position rather, Wills and Partridge, but now Hollingsworth going to be able to move to the outside and take that position away.
I like this battle right here between Hollingsworth and Wills. It's getting ready to start heating up here. It's starting to get hot and heavy back here in the back of the field, essentially. Jacob Jensen almost out to a half second ahead of Heath Smith in that number 1 truck.
Yeah, the race up front, there's a couple of car lengths between them, and that top 5 is more separated than it was in that first stint, but Jacob Jensen getting a good run coming up off of the quarter. Touch loose there coming up off of 4. Heath Smith able to stay right with him that last time around, just a little bit quicker, putting a lot of pressure on the rear bumper of that 64 machine. It's what you got to do here. You know this is one of the better drivers that you're going to have to compete with week in and week out. Put the pressure on him early. Let him know this isn't going to be easy. This isn't going to be the cakewalk that last year seemed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. That 64 truck making it happen. But here comes Heath Smith. He's taking another peek. And he's almost like, it's almost like Heath Smith is a lane and a half lower than Jacob Jensen, trying to make that run, trying to make it happen. As he's gonna slide up in front of it, right behind him. He's gonna continue to ride. Heath Smith right now is learning. He is learning. He's being patient. He's gonna force Jacob Jensen to make an error.
He's definitely keeping the pressure on him right now. It's been about a quarter second. These guys trading lap times back and forth. Some good center momentum there for the 2 of Heath Smith. He's going to be able to get the run coming up off of turn number 4, but not quite close enough to set up a move down into 1. Meanwhile, as we've got a side-by-side battle between Beltrami and Justin Michael. Michael's going to complete that pass. Put him up into 4th place, up 18 spots on the day. And let's also give a big shout-out to Michael Milfelt Jr., who is now looking down to the inside of Charlie Widener, and that will be his 18th position gained throughout the course of this race, if he can get it done. Big time change of lanes there from Charlie Widener. Goes all the way down to the bottom, trying to find some speed, and it kind of looks like he found some, Alan.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Michael Melfeld and Charlie Whiter both found another line. They definitely found something on the racetrack, and I mean they're gonna start moving that groove higher and higher and higher. That bottom line is not gonna work very long.
Yes, but there is a benefit of running where they're not.
True.
Especially on those
I
restarts.
can
If
argue
you know you
that.
can make something happen on the way bottom of the racetrack while everybody's jamming up in traffic. As long as you can stay off everybody coming up off of the corner, you're going to be in pretty good shape. As now Heath Smith looks down to the inside of Jensen, coming up off of 2. Jensen's going to have a little bit of momentum, but Heath is close right now.
I've been watching this battle with Heath Smith and Jacob Jensen. Jacob Jensen gets a better off corner exit than Heath Smith does, but Heath gets a really good entrance.
Really good entrance. He rolls that momentum through the center of the corner, but like you said, Jacob Jensen just able to get to the throttle a little bit more efficiently coming up off of these corners. Allows him to get the advantage down the straightaway and be clear getting into the corner.
Whoa!
However, Smith, huge run there in the middle, had to check up just a little bit, and that's going to put the advantage right back in the hands of that 64 machine. Man, this is incredible racing up front here. It's our closest battle on the track. Well, James Dewar is getting around Julian Ricci down the front straightaway, but these guys aren't really too terribly far in front of your race leaders.
Yeah, definitely. There's the race leaders right there. And these guys are going to be the first couple cars a lap down. As we see that 07 car of Keith Kelman, he's going to be his first car going a lap down here tonight. And this is where we're going to start lapping vehicles.
And this is where patience could start to draw a little bit thinner. We're at lap number 45. We're just past 25% of the way through this race, so we've still got a long way to go. But lapped cars holding you up. I don't expect Keith Kelman to hold up Jensen very much, but once you get up to John Kenyon, Dustin Burns, Scott Kukas, those guys aren't going to want to go a lap down. It's going to be a little bit tougher to make the move on them, and that could open the door for the trailing car to make the move.
Yeah, here we come. We are coming up on an 88 truck of John Kenyon. John Kenyon in the racing line. And Jacob Jensen's going to have to navigate these guys. And so is Heath Smith. The question is, who's going to be better at it? Is it going to be the 1 truck or the 64 truck? Are the lap cars going to give Jacob Jensen the room? As to where, maybe they didn't get it room from him whenever the roles were reversed. I mean, how hard do you race them?
Well, you've also got a side-by-side battle just in front of these guys.
And here's the other variable in the equation. These guys are racing for position as well as being lapped.
Oh man, almost a little bit of contact here for the lead. Getting into turns 3 and 4. Up the racetrack goes Jacob Jensen. To the middle goes Heath Smith. He's going to try to get a little bit of a run coming up off. Sideways is the 2 truck, and out of the way goes Dustin Burns. Down the racetrack goes Jacob Jensen. Almost cuts off. I mean, he cut off that 2 truck. He almost turned himself off of the front of him. Both drivers on the bottom of the racetrack. Heath's trying to go lower. Coming up to another side-by-side battle for position. Heath Smith tries the slider in the middle of the corner. They're dead even coming up off, and Heath Smith's going to go around into the inside wall.
Heath Smith! Oh, no. Oh.
Huge contact there for Heath, and he is going to take it straight to the pits. Tough break there for the 2 truck. Racing so hard, trying to take the lead, just got a little sideways coming up off. We'll take a look at that in just a moment here. Jacob Jensen now has 2.4 seconds of a lead over Justin Michael, who has made his way to 2nd.
That is one angry duck.
Yeah, it just starts to come around on him, and it was a bad angle to be pointed at the inside wall, and unfortunately that's looking to be the end of Heath's day. No caution for that incident. He did not spin out on the racing surface. iRacing is kind of diligent with that.
Well, right now, I can tell you right now, Justin Michael back there, who's just under 3 seconds behind Jacob Jensen, has now started to lick his chops. As the lap cars that Jacob Jensen's having to surgically get through to put a distance between him and Michael, Jacob Jensen has got to work methodically through these lap cars because Justin Michael is going to have to catch up. And it's 3 seconds, that's the gap.
It's going to be a tough gap to overcome, though, and each time around, Jacob Jensen's been about a tenth quicker than Justin Michael. Coming up on 100 laps to go. We've got 105 to go this time around. That gap for the lead is increasing. Bob Beltrami, he's got some pressure as well from Charlie Widener, Michael Milfelt, Wayne Hutchison not too far behind these guys either. But Hutchison is under his own pressure.
Oh boy, here we go. I mean, Liam, it took about 33 seconds for this race to change.
Yeah, it did not take long at all as here comes Steele to the inside of Hutchison to try to take away that 7th place. Coming up off of turn 2, he's going to be able to get clear. Bentley Glazer kind of leading this train here. He's got Beltrami behind him, then Widener, then Milfelt. Beltrami and Glazer both started up in the top 4, top 3 actually. Both lost 1 position throughout the course of this race, but got a couple of really quick trucks working up behind them.
Yeah, here we are 41 laps away from that century mark, and it's been all Jacob Jensen all night long. Bentley Glazer starting to make things happen. He's closing in. Step 1 is to close in on Justin Michael. Step 2 is to start working on Jacob Jensen.
Here's Charlie Widener down to the inside of Beltrami, trying to make something happen. A little bit loose there coming up off of turn 4. Not quite able to make it stick, but he's going to work that bottom, try to get up in front of Beltrami coming up off of 2. He's got the space. Does he have the momentum? Beltrami comes back down to cross him over. Going to be 3 wide with the lapper of Kelman, but Beltrami able to work that bottom side pretty cleanly. Is he going to have the momentum coming up off of 4? Dead even across the stripe. Slight advantage to Widener, but neither one of them had more momentum.
This is anybody's race right here. Beltrami going to lose out on that 4th position to Charlie Widener, but they're closing in on Bentley Glazer.
Yeah, Glazer was able to kind of get away from this for a little bit, but now that Widener is able to get himself established in front of these drivers. Milfelt working the top side of Beltrami down into turn 3 and 4. He should be able to get the advantage coming up off of 4 in terms of momentum. A little bit loose there. Might have tail smacked the wall just a hair. Sends it up the racetrack, scrapes the wall just a little bit more. Ryan Steele trying to figure out which way to go, and the outside slows down. It slows up the run of Ryan Steele. Everybody's in lap traffic right now.
Definitely. Jacob Jensen now almost 4 seconds ahead of Justin Michael. There's the eyeball test. He is all alone in a different zip code.
And Justin Michael has still got a couple of lap trucks to work through, so he's not going to be able to get that clean air, get all the racetrack used up that he wants. Gets stuck behind Walker there for a moment. That's going to cost him another 10th or 2. Now, he's only got 1 truck between him and the leader. If he's going to be able to show that he's quicker, this would be the time to do it. The most opportune time, I should say.
Yeah, but you gotta ask yourself. Hopefully, Jacob Jensen didn't show his hand too early. Because a lot could happen to bust the field up. Justin Michael, all he's got to do is just ride around and make laps.
Yeah, he's definitely quicker than the 87 at this stage of the game. Here comes Widener down to the inside of Bentley Glazer, getting into turns 3 and 4. He's going to try to use Wayne Fleet as a pick, coming up off of the corner. Nowhere for Glazer to go, but Widener has to check up. Slides up the racetrack, and now the 6 of Wayne Fleet gets stuck in the middle, 3 wide.
Oh.
He's going to slide up just a little bit. Widener and Glazer. Oh, and there's contact there. Widener makes contact with Fleet. Now Milfeld goes all the way down to the bottom, and Wayne Fleet is just getting bounced around here like he's a ping pong ball.
No harm or no foul. We keep racing.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff from these Western States Racing League drivers. They, week in and week out, put on some incredible racing. And I got to say, I've missed them these last couple of weeks. Especially without big NASCAR on Sundays. I've been looking forward to having these Tuesday races. And it's good to have the Western States Racing League back.
Yeah, they're back. But if you like what you see here, don't forget Thursday night at 8, what is it? 8:30 Central.
8:30
With
Central,
the,
9:30
RF
Eastern.
Yep.
Got the
9:30 Eastern,
RFRL.
Yes. That's been a phenomenal series to be able to broadcast and be able to part of. And Liam, you know, this Thursday is going to be no exception to that rule.
Milfeld here still working through the lab traffic. Just got passed by Ryan Steele. Bob Beltrami trying to make a move back to the inside of the 155. Nothing doing quite yet. Meanwhile, Jeff Hollingsworth is up to 8th place after starting in 21st position. Up 13 spots from where he started and continuing to have a good race. Going to be looking at getting around Bob Beltrami, see if he can do it. Bentley Glazer, he's under fire now from that 95 once again. Oh, man. Widener gets a little bit loose, and now here comes Ryan Steele to try to take away that spot. Julian Ricci just in front of these guys on the outside, a little bit slower. Where's he going to go, and how's that going to... Oh, wow! Bentley Glazer gets into the wall pretty good coming up off of turn 2.
We are almost to the century mark, 25 laps away from that 100 lap mark. And then we got 60 laps left to go after that. Sunday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, we got the Charity Cup Series to J&S 150, 100 laps at Charlotte. Come out and watch that. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Hell, get a TV with a bonfire going and watch as those guys bring you great racing action. Dave's a call as long as our own Angel Santiago.
Oh, man, Ricci got to come up right in front of Bentley Glazer. Glazer didn't like that. He's going to get into the back of that 11. He feels trapped, stuck behind the 11. He just went from 3rd place all the way back to 7th over the course of a lap or two. Now he's stuck behind Ricci once again. Ricci up into the wall. Glazer going to be able to get clear of him. Coming up off of turn 2, he does. You take a look at our last lap times, these last few times around, and well, this time, a little bit of an advantage for Justin Michael. Jacob Jensen generally has been the quicker car.
Gotta keep in mind, we are still going through lap traffic right now. Jacob Jensen just picking them up and putting them down. What a dominating performance by that number 64 truck.
Now we can take a look at our lap leaders, and, well, there's only 2 of them.
Oh,
trouble, Chris Walker. Just around your race leader, goes around down the back straightaway. It's going to bring out the caution for the 3rd time today at lap 78. So it's just in front of your leader. Big time sideways down the back. And
wow.
it's a new pair of shorts
What
moment
in
if you're Jacob Jensen here.
a code brown moment.
Let's go back on board with your leader here as that all happened just in front of him. Pit stops. Ryan Steele is the first one to get off. Although he may have missed his pit stall. Looks like Jacob Jensen's going to take a pretty clear win of the race off pit road. Ryan Steele, he's going to come back in. Justin Michael comes out in second. Michael Milfelt Jr. third. Charlie Widener and then Bob Beltrami round out the top 5 of drivers who came into pit. Ryan Steele coming back in. Missed his pit box that first time around. Only 3 cautions here at the halfway point in this race. I got to say, these guys have been playing very nicely.
For now.
For now, yes, that is true. These guys have a long way to go, and who knows how much temper they have to get them there.
That patient's going to be wearing pretty thin.
You can see on the side of your screen just how far your favorite driver has moved up or down the field. Biggest mover so far, Michael Milfelt Jr. up 21 spots from 24th to 3rd place. Justin Michael up 20 from 22nd. Jacob Jensen, he's up 3. Not one of the biggest movers, but...
Yeah, definitely not the biggest mover of the race, but he's making his way up there.
Well, we're geared up for another restart here. 3 cautions, going to be lap 83 when we take the green flag. Does Justin Michael have anything on fresh tires, or does Jacob Jensen drive away? Green flag back in the air. We're rolling.
Look at that restart that Jacob Jensen just got. Here comes Michael Milfelt Jr. They're slugging it out in turn number 1 and 2.
Jensen's going to be able to get a couple of car lengths here on the initial lap of this restart while Milfelt and Michael race side by side. Justin Michael gets the advantage there. He's going to take over 2nd place. Earl Weaver's going to come in and serve a penalty. Tough break for him. Towards the back here, we got William Fletcher. Bentley Glazer, who we talked about, was running 2nd, 3rd place early on in the race, currently sits in 12th. Trouble for Paul Crumray down the back straightaway.
Oh no, not the silver bullet.
We're going to keep on going here. Jacob Jensen just comes up on him. Fastest lap of the race that last time around for Jacob Jensen, a 22:06.
I mean, he's hauling the mail, and here it is, lap 86.
Well, now I gotta take that back. Bob Beltrami just went purple. Caution's gonna come out. Earl Weaver's got a problem. Down the front straightaway.
Oh. You just hate that for Earl Weaver.
Oh man, yeah, that's a tough break.
Man. Yeah, I mean, you just hate it for Earl Weaver. You know, these guys, 28 drivers in here tonight, 27 rather. They all come in tonight one believing they have a shot at the championship. Right now though, Jacob Jensen picking up right where he left off.
Yeah, he's not had himself a bad race so far. We still have the lap leaders down in the bottom, and he's led 70 out of the 87 complete. Heath Smith led 17, the first 17 of the race. Fastest laps of the race so far. Bob Beltrami with a 22 flat.
That's all in the middle around here.
Yeah, Jacob Jensen 22.06, Justin Michael at 22.10, Wayne Hutchison 22.11. 4 out of the top 5 drivers are 4 out of the top 5 fastest laps. Wayne Hutchison also quick, but this guy's antsy to get this restart underway.
I'm antsy to get this restart underway too.
See what kind of restart the outside lane can get. Jacob Jensen, these last couple of restarts, has been pretty unbeatable. It's going to take perfect timing to be able to stay with him on this initial restart.
Yeah, it's going to take Justin Michael to catch Jacob Jensen sleeping as we get ready to come back to green flag. Hold it together, boys. Nice and even.
Field doubled up, packed up here, ready to rock and rumble one more time. Jacob Jensen gets another strong restart, and Millfelt able to stay side by side with the 87. You know that 64 loves to see that.
Well, just as we say, the outside line was going to be the line to beat on the restart. Michael Millfelt Jr. got all the way to the door of Justin Michael. We're watching this incredible battle going on in the rear view, up front of Declan of Jacob Jensen. As we are now working lap number 91, you know, just a little over 70 laps to go here in this one. And Liam, I mean, Jacob Jensen's been the star of the show all night. But here comes Justin Michael looking to make something happen here. Michael Millfelt Jr. having a pretty good run himself at 21 spots where he started. Run, Jacob, run. There's the eyeballs. That's a half second. What separates Justin Michael from Jacob Jensen here on lap number 96. A half second. That's it. We saw that in the eyeball test. Jacob Jensen not wanting to see that 87 truck in his rearview mirror. But here he is with Michael Millfelt Jr. right behind him.
Bob Beltrami running in 4th place. He's trying to work his way back up to the front. Started in 3rd. He wants to be on that podium. Charlie Widener, he's been quick all night so far, and you got to wonder, as this temperature keeps dropping, is he just going to keep getting better and better?
I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of grip in this racetrack right now. We're working lap number 96, just over 65 laps to go here in this one from IRP. These last 65 laps are going to go by so fast. Jacob Jensen now a half second ahead of Justin Michael. Justin Michael's got to be smooth. And when he gets to Jacob Jensen, he's got to have the wherewithal to force Jacob Jensen to make a mistake without taking them both out.
It's easier said than done. He's able to close in just a little bit that last time around, 100th quicker. A little bit better in the center, but Jensen really good at diamonding the corner to get a better run out. To see if Justin Michael can kind of try to copy that. I was always a big fan of the later Apex at a track like this, but it's so tough to do it right.
Justin Michael closes in by a smidgen. Here he comes. This battle's starting to get good here as we are 62 laps away from the finish here of this one. 62 laps left to go. Justin Michael knows the urgency is there. Jacob Jensen's got to run. There's nowhere they can hide. There's no left traffic you can use as a pick.
No, but his 3 and 4 is so much better than Justin Michael's. Michael's got a better 1 and 2, but this time around, big time advantage for the 64 machine. He's able to get a couple of tenths advantage actually on Michael. In 1 and 2, I think Michael's got a really good line. He might have used up his stuff just a little bit, but 3 and 4, 64 is just doing phenomenal. He's entering low, he's sliding up, he's getting right up next to the wall, right where that red paint is, and that's where he curls it back down to come back down the racetrack. Equalizes it back out with the exit of the corner so he can get right up next to the wall. He's doing a really good job of diamonding this racetrack and using up all of the necessary racetrack to get it done.
Yeah, we've had 4 cautions on the night here. Jacob Jensen, continuously the thing. He opens that gap back up to a half a second almost. There it is, a half second, and he's driving away. I mean, Justin Michael, took a couple years off, kind of did some hit and miss racing here with this league. But, I would, after tonight, you may go into a night like tonight saying, you know what, I think I wrote a partial schedule. But at the end of the night, when the checker flag falls and you see yourself second in points, to Jacob Jensen, that might change your mindset. And you might say, you know what, I think I'll run the whole season, see what happens.
Yeah, we would definitely love to see Justin in for the full season, but a lot of things that'll ride on.
Well, right now, if you go back to that battle for second to start to heat up, Michael Melfelt Jr. is all over the tailgate of that number 87 truck. He's going to want second, and he's looking for more.
Looking for more, definitely, but what is he going to be able to find? Take a look at the current weather we've got right now. It's a 70-degree night. It's gotten about 5 degrees cooler. The track temp has dropped a little bit too, down to 81 degrees. Partly cloudy, a little bit humid here, but nothing that these drivers can't particularly handle.
Wait till we get to the summer months and it gets humid.
Rocket lap 106 out of 160. Your race leader is Jacob Jensen. We've had 4 cautions for 16 laps, 2 lead changes. One of those happened under green. The other one happened when Ryan Steele missed his pit box, came around and led a lap under caution.
Well, here we are working lap 107 of the 160 scheduled to be run here. And we're almost certain we're going to hit lap traffic once again with 52 laps to go. Relatively clean race here tonight. Once again, check us out here next Tuesday night as we go to Iowa. Liam, announcement came through today. Mike Damani is going to take over for me, and now this turns into a fill-in position tonight. So Mike Damani can be the voice with you, Liam, of the Western States Racing League. I know that you both enjoy this league very, very much. So when you found out they were coming back for season 54, I know you got a little giddy inside.
Oh yeah, I mean I love these guys. I know Mike loves them too. It's good for where he lives too. He's over on that West Coast area, maybe in the mountains, but I think it's West Coast.
Where it snows like.
But
I mean, he's in
Wyoming. It'll be cool. And then maybe we'll get to see you on the racetrack once again.
Yeah, yep. Now, Liam, season 54, we're gonna look at the schedule and we're gonna find the nights to get you on the racetrack as well.
Oh, I'd love that. We'll see if we can make it happen.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see Liam in the 00 truck.
I don't know if I'd
Or
want to
Liam drive his
Maybe.
own truck.
Maybe.
I don't know. It might be the only time he gets a good finish. Working lap 112 of 160. Jacob Jensen doing Jacob Jensen thing out in front. He has opened it up to a second lead. Justin Michael's going to be running second right now with Michael Belfort Jr. right up his tailpipes. And we got to know the pit stops are going to be coming fairly soon for these guys, if not sooner.
Yeah, these guys aren't going to... I don't know if they'll have to make a pit stop. Everybody came in right around that lap 70, 79 caution. So I think these guys should be good to the end. Now with Michael Milfelt closing in on Justin Michael, starting to put some of that pressure on him. Jacob Jensen starting to close in ever so much more on these lapped cars. You see on the track map on the right side, Jacob Jensen doesn't have much space between him and a small group of cars. He's got about a second over Justin Michael right now, but you never know when you got guys racing hard in front of you.
Definitely a couple Granger trucks. That would be the 04 Dustin Burns and Barry Phil.
Barry Phil almost makes contact there, but John Kenyon. Kenyon going to get right up next to the wall, and this is just in front of your race leader, who's going to try to split the middle. Barry Phil not giving him any space on the bottom. John Kenyon trying to give whatever space he can on the top, and Barry coming off of the corner gives him space, but he really went in there trying to get around that John Kenyon machine.
I love the three wide move. Here comes Justin Michael. He's got to do the same move, and he's going to split him pretty easily.
Going to slide up in front of John Kenyon, and that's going to really set a pick for Michael Milfeld Jr., who's going to lose a ton of time behind that 88. Going to try to slide him, but not quite able to do it like the 97 did it, or 87 did in front of him. Bob Beltrami going to try to follow through as well. He's going to dive it all the way down to the bottom, slides up in front of Kenyon, almost puts Kenyon in the wall. Widener gets into Kenyon. Everybody stays straight, but lapped traffic heating things up once again. Jacob Jensen out to his second lead. Nobody between him and Justin Michael. But you see, going into turn 1 and 2, there is another group of about 5 or 6 cars, which could very well play a factor, as Justin Michael is starting to equalize those lap times just a little bit with Jacob Jensen. Every once in a while, he's able to run equal lap times in clean air. It's one thing to be able to close in on somebody in lap traffic, but if you can stay equal with them in clean air, you might have a shot.
Definitely, and as we see Jacob Jensen closing in on Scott Kukas and that 242 truck, and the James Deere in the 44, there they are. There's the next gaggle of cars. That's the one that Justin Michael might be looking at shops to get to. All Scott Cook's got to do is hold up Jacob Jensen just enough.
Last couple of laps, a little bit quicker out of the 87 machine. I saw Jacob Jensen get a little bit loose coming up off of turn number 2 that last time around. Try to cut all the way down to the bottom. Michael doesn't have to go all the way down there. Jensen's going to find a spot to slide up. No, not quite. He's going to stay down there on the bottom. A little bit sideways for Jacob coming up off of turn 2, but he's able to stay equal. Michael now working the inside of the 16 of Weaver. It's going to cost him a little bit of time, and now there's 2 trucks between your first and second place cars.
I want to point out something to you, Liam. Just how smooth
waiting on that one. Oh, a little bit of contact between Fleet and Ricci. Oh, a little bit more contact, and now around goes Ricci into turn 3. Wade Fleet's going to collect Scott Kukas and Earl Weaver as well. You can see that coming from a mile away. This guy's...
Oh, no.
Started beating and banging, and well, it just never stopped.
That's no good for anybody involved.
Let's see what we can see here from this angle. They hit again. They hit again. Justin Michael gets up into there. Ricci with heavy contact. Now, we'll come back to that in just a moment. Everybody's pit. Jacob Jensen going to come in and get what seems to be 4 tires and fuel. He's able to get off way before anybody else. Justin Michael's getting some damage repair done. After that contact, he's going to lose a ton of positions on the racetrack. Bob Beltrami going to come in this time around. Ryan Steele, Brian Barnes. Thought maybe they were going to try to do it on older tires, but...
Yeah.
Seeing the fall off that we've seen out of some of these guys, that's a tough ask.
What a race here. We're at lap 127. We're in the closing stages of this race. And just as Jacob Jensen starts working through lap cars, all that real estate gets in the race, and then we bust the field back up. But what about Jacob Jensen there? You know, picking up right where he left off. But if you notice right behind him, coming off pit road, that's Charlie Widener in that number 595 truck, and he is no slouch.
No, he got himself a couple of wins last year, and looking to do some more of the same this time around. Going to get those wave arounds past the pace truck. Lights are off on the pacing vehicle. Jacob Jensen is going to lead over Charlie Widener, Bentley Glazer, Jeff Hollingsworth, and Jeff Wills. Bob Beltrami, Wayne Hutchison, Brian Barnes, Ryan Steele, and James Dewar round out your top 10. William Fletcher, Ray Partridge, and Charles Woods still on the lead lap. Coming through 3 and 4, the restart. After the 5th caution of the race, lap 129 will be taking the green.
With just over 30 laps to go, it's going to be Jacob Jensen, Charlie Widener. We're back to green flag racing here from IRP. Jacob Jensen with the whole shot.
Now these guys know they don't really have to save much for tire anymore. They only got to go 30 laps. So how hard are they going to go on the initial start here, trying to chase down that 64? Jeff Hollingsworth gets up into the wall coming through turns 3 and 4 rather, but he's going to make that pass on the outside of Bentley Glazer to take away 3rd place.
31 laps remain here from IRP. Jacob Jensen not get. I don't think Jacob Jensen's going to catch lap traffic in 31 laps. I mean, there's a decent shot at it. As Charlie Widener trying to make things happen here. It seems like this might be up his wheelhouse. Jeff Hollingsworth, though, he's looking to make a splash.
The top 3 just ran their best laps of the race, all 3 under 22 seconds. Fastest was Charlie Widener in 2nd with a 21.94. 21.96 out of the car in front, though, so he wasn't able to cut much out of the lead. This time around, Jacob Jensen does a 21.90. Now that's the fastest we've seen all night. 29 laps to go here at IRP. Keep that track map up, and you can see there's a 1 lap truck of Julian Ritchie who got the wave around. He wasn't able to quite catch up to the field, so he's only about half a straightaway, if even, in front of your race leaders. Can't imagine he's going to have much of an impact when they go by, but just something to keep in mind as these guys work through. You see a lot of damage on that 11 truck. He's going to stay down to the bottom and just stay out of the way.
Yeah, Jacob Jensen going to go around Julian Ritchie on the outside. Mean and Gray, we're going to stay green here. 27 laps to go as that P&P truck of Bentley Glazer riding in 4th position. 27 laps to go. 5 caution periods on the whole night. Not bad for a short track.
No, I mean, we've seen incredible short track racing out of this league. IRP is an incredible track where it's pretty racy. It's tough to pass, but it's not impossible. We've seen some guys really send it in hard and make some incredible moves. Caution is out. Try to take a look as Julian Ritchie has gone around again. He's got John Kenyon in there.
Around. Julian Ritchie's night goes from bad to worse.
He just loops it around all by himself. Oh, and Kenyon hits him.
Would that be a late hit like in football?
You know, I'm not sure that's the way it works.
Okay. I had to ask.
Yeah, I think being out of the race is penalty enough.
Okay.
So 6th caution of the race. You know cautions breed cautions, especially when you get to the end of this thing. It's a short track. So we can't really say that this is too terribly unexpected. But Jacob Jensen doesn't want to have any more of these. The more restarts he has, the more chance that somebody is going to have to, get into him or pressure to him to make a mistake. I know a lot of drivers want to be the first one to win in the Western States Racing League of 2026.
Absolutely here at lap 138 of 160 to be ran here. You know, cautions are like like in the movie The Goonies, where so don't feed the little things. Cautions, precautions, don't feed the Goonies. But here we are, lap 6 caution period. I mean, as long as Jacob Jensen does what he's been doing all night long, I gotta say this has gotta be my pick to win it from that 5th spot.
Well, we're going to have... It'll be 21 laps to go when we take the restart. Jacob Jensen over Charlie Widener. Jeff Hollingsworth, they've all been incredibly quick. Bentley Glazer also incredibly quick here today. Wayne Hutchison started 5th, sits 5th, but that does not at all tell the story of his day so far. Green flag back in the air. Little bit better start up on the outside for Charlie Widener. What's he going to be able to do getting into turns 1 and 2? He's got a little bit of momentum in the center. Hollingsworth going to send it down on the inside of Glazer.
Jacob Jensen just so good on the Marie. Starts 21 laps to go. Charlie Widener having connection issues as we come down to get 20 laps to go, 20 circuits left. Charlie Widener's all over the 64 truck like he owes much money.
Oh, trouble in turn 1. Jeff Willis has gone around, or he's going around. He collects James Stewart. That was not the initial reason for the caution. We had somebody else go around in turn 1. Couldn't quite tell who that was. And Barry Phil Michael Milfelt Jr. making contact here after the fact. Yeah, it was a mess down the back straightaway.
Someone's Christmas card list just got a whole lot shorter.
Let's try to see where that... Oh, it was Bob. Get another look here. So what we're going to see here, Bob Beltrami's going to go around. Oh, Jeff Wills gets into the wall. Bob goes around. Wills goes around, collects the 44. He tries to get it turned around right in front of traffic.
You can't do that.
No, I know it's a race. I know everybody's in a hurry, but man, you gotta wait. You can't drive around in front of traffic like that. Tough break for a couple of guys here, though. We're gonna have ourselves a shootout here. I believe we'll have 15 laps to go when we take the restart.
Oh boy. Saturday night shootout. Tuesday night here at IRP on a Tuesday night with the trucks.
It's a Tuesday night twister.
I wasn't going to say that, but I'm glad you did.
Hey, you know, it makes sense. T sounds.
Hey. You give a shout out to the RFRL Racing League. Caution free for 70 laps at Talladega last week.
Yeah, it was definitely a cool race. You know, a lot of times you see that things start to heat up at the end, and that race definitely heated up at the end. But only 2 incidents throughout the whole race was one guy getting spun coming to the checkers, and then one guy spun out on a green flag pit stop. So super clean stuff. Very similar to this league. This guy's super clean stuff. Only 7 cautions in 145 laps. We didn't even get our third one until, what, lap 128? 118, something like that, 123. Things heating up here at the end. Cautions breed cautions, and short tracks do what they do.
Oh boy.
Green flag back in the air. 15 laps to go. Single file restart since that last caution happened on the first lap of the restart. Jacob Jensen drives away. He's got already 3/4 second on Charlie Widener.
Yeah, there's 14 circuits around here. Jacob Jensen is driving away from Charlie Widener. But don't look now, kids. Here comes Jeff Hollingsworth in that third spot. He's closing in on Charlie Widener as Jacob Jensen puts on the afterburners and tries to drive right out of town with 13 laps to go here from IRP. Who's going to take... Oh, we got a caution flag. James Muir in at number 44 truck.
Things not going the way that he has wanted to after that last incident. Had himself a really good race before that. Staying up in the top 10, and he's just going to cook it a little too hot into the corner. And oh, then he gets back on the gas a little too hard. That's it, sends him around. 8th caution of the race.
Well,
James
now we're
Stewart
gonna
brings
have
that one out. Bob Beltrami's going to come in and make a pit stop here with just over 10 laps to go.
10-lap dash.
Well, he's going to come
To
out in
the
10th
end.
place, so it's going to be a difficult ask to get up to the front, but not impossible.
Oh boy, I am so ready for this 10-lap shootout. I mean, we got a lucky dog going by. That's 8 truck, a partridge.
Oh, that's not right.
I don't think Jacob just.
So Jacob Jensen basically been out front over the course of the last 100 or so laps. And Wayne Hutchison, he's worked his way back up from outside of the top 10 in the last 50 or so laps. Gonna get the lights off on the pace truck this time around. 9 laps to go here. Gonna be 8 when they take the restart. Jacob Jensen has Charlie Widener to his outside. Jeff Hollingsworth just behind him. And Bentley Glazer's gonna restart in in position number 4. Wayne Hutchison has Brian Barnes to his outside in the 3rd row. Charlie Widener, Ryan Steele. And William Fletcher and Bob Beltrami round out your top 10. Pace truck's going to make that hard left turn, and these guys have all of turns 3 and 4 to wait until they can mash down the loud pedal and get this race rolling for what they hope is the final time. Well, at least if you're Jacob Jensen, you hope.
Get ready, here we go.
Green flag back in the air. Phenomenal restart out of the 64. Once again, Hollingsworth going to try to get to the inside of Widener. Not quite enough there. Widener gets himself a run coming up off of 2, but Jacob Jensen extends that gap just a little bit more.
Single-digit laps to go. Jacob Jensen trying to run away, but here comes another 95 truck charging Charlie Widener.
Oh, Jensen gets up into the wall.
Oh.
Widener tries the bottom side. He's going to be right up at the bumper, but not have the momentum.
And
Widener
here comes
going
Charlie
all the way to the bottom. He's trying something different, trying to get some much needed real estate on that 64.
Six laps to go. Charlie Widener's driving that truck for all it's worth. He is putting the whip to the horse, and here he comes.
He's trying to get as close as he possibly can. It might take a bump and run to get it done if he can close it in. Jacob Jensen been phenomenal, though. Not really seeing much of a wiggle out of his truck like you're seeing some other guys get. It's really good for the tires, really good for the momentum. With 5 laps to go, he's only got to hold on for about 3.5 more miles.
3.5 more miles. Charlie Widener charging. Charlie coming up to try to get that first spot away. I think Charlie's going to run out of laps. I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah, I think Jensen's running just a little bit too strong. He's able to pull that gap just ever so slightly coming up off of each corner. It's only a couple of hundredths coming up off, but he's able to pull that gap continuously. Charlie Widener going to try to close in coming up off of the corner. Paul Crabray has had himself an incident. No caution yet. 3 laps to go.
Jacob Jensen just put on a clinic here with 3 laps to go. He is now pulling away. The eyeball test is about a half a second. A little bit more than a half. 2 laps to go.
2 more circuits around, 1.5 at this point, and the gap is 0.7 of a second and increasing. Charlie Widener has done absolutely everything he can to try to keep that 64 close. But with only 1 lap to go, with only 0.6 of a mile remaining, that gap, 0.8 of a second, that may become insurmountable. Meanwhile, Jacob Jensen, 6 wins on the season last year. He won the championship before the last race even started, and that type of dominating fashion is going to continue on now. Took the lead on lap 28, never looked back. Jacob Jensen wins the season opener of season 54 for the Western States Racing League.
What an awesome race here. Charlie Widener giving everything he can to finish second, comes up 1 spot short. But Jacob Jensen, as you said, picks up right where he left off with season 53, with the season 53 championship, and he's gonna get it done here at IRP as he gets ready to burn it down here on the front straightaway.
Yeah, phenomenal drive out of Jacob Jensen. Second place, Charlie Widener, Jeff Hollingsworth in third. Bentley Glazer comes home in fourth. Ryan Steele rounding out your top 5. And here comes Bob Beltrami. He's getting a little push across the line from one Mr. Kelman, and he's going to hit that race winner. Give him that ownership bump, we'll call it. Well, phenomenal stuff. Let's go ahead and bring up Jacob Jensen into the booth. Jacob, it's Liam and Allen up at the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys. How you doing?
Fantastic, man. I tell you what, it's been a little while since we talked to you, but that's just because we haven't been racing. You have not missed a step from last season. What does it mean to come out so strong right out of the gate here in season 54?
Oh, it means a lot. We had kind of a rough start or end to the season last year. I mean, we still won the championship, but not a lot of wins coming to the end of it, and it means a lot to finally get back into victory lane. And it was a very competitive field all night. Shame what happened to Heath, but besides that, it was a super competitive field, and it was a lot of fun for sure.
Last time we were here, we saw you. You were strong. You had some contact racing for the lead, and unfortunately, neither one of you guys ended up finishing. Is this any sort of retribution for what happened last time?
I mean, a little bit. We should have still won that race, but things happen, and I mean, we're coming back here with a clean slate, so I don't really think it's retribution, but it's definitely a lot of fun racing, and awesome to be back into victory lane.
Well, you put on a clinic here tonight, and well, yeah, safe to say you're continuing on your form. Who helps you get it done on that 64? I noticed a new paint scheme this year, so tell us about it.
Yeah, well, you always got to thank the good Lord first. Got to thank the family. Hopefully, Shane Jensen will be back in action next week. He's a little sick right now, so hopefully he'll be better next week. And then got to thank all my friends, my Uncle Leonard, and then we got to start thanking the sponsors, TWRS. They're new right now. They're a great setup shop. If you guys are looking for setups, I highly recommend them. Got to thank Icon. Got to thank Dubby. Got to thank WLT2 Motorsports, and got to thank Cavu Performance.
Well, awesome stuff, Jacob. We loved watching you put on a clinic here today, and we're looking forward to seeing what you got for us next week at Iowa.
Yeah, another really fun track. I'm excited to be there.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
All right, and then we've got second place Charlie Widener with you, Alan.
Charlie Widener, first of all, congratulations on a great run. And second of all, what more could you need out of that number 95 truck to get up there and contend with that race win with Jacob Jensen?
I don't think this isn't my track, so I didn't really have the right line or something not to compete with Jacob. Plus, I wasn't getting the best restarts there to give me a chance. But yeah, I was surprised to have a podium here. Glad I did. And yeah, I didn't really have anything for Jacob, but maybe if it went a little longer, I might have had something, but probably not.
Yeah, it looks like you were right there at the end of that race with about 5 to go. You're getting ready to make a charge, and that's when I gave you your nickname, Charging Charlie Widener. But no to no avail. You bring it home P2. Before we get you out of here, who do you want to thank and who helped you get it done on that number 95 truck?
I have really good teammates, Heath Smith, Mike Milfelt, and they really helped me out a lot. We all had 3 different driving styles, so we help each other out a lot. I appreciate Bob for the league. It's a very competitive league, and you guys for putting on a good broadcast. The only thing I will say is I think you guys probably noticed it during the broadcast, but these lap down cars sometimes have almost zero self awareness. They were in the way a lot, but it was, I guess that made for a good broadcast watching us dodge all of them. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, once again, congratulations on that P2 finish, and we'll see you next week in Iowa.
I appreciate it, Alan.
Back up to you, Liam.
Yes, sir. Now we're going to bring in Jeff Hollingsworth into the booth. Jeff, Liam and Alan in
Hey.
the booth. You got a copy.
I got a copy, man. How are you?
Fantastic, man. You guys just put on a hell of a show. You come home in third, but that wasn't really the full story of your race. We saw you kind of in and out of the top 5 for a good portion of that second half, but once you got up onto that podium, you stayed there.
Yeah, I was behind the 8 ball because I screwed up qualifying. I don't know if y'all watched me qualify, but anyway, it wasn't nothing to see. I spun it on my first lap, and then it scooted across the start finish, so my second lap wasn't counted either. So, anyways, from far back as I came from, third was good with me.
Yeah, I mean, you started in 21st, you come home in third, and you are officially our biggest mover on the day. What does it take to set up a pass here? I mean, I feel like this is one of the toughest short tracks to complete a pass on, but you were able to do it more than anybody else today.
At the beginning, I didn't go that hard, so I think I had a little bit better tire toward the middle of that first run, and I was able to just keep getting by people. And then, you had a little bit of attrition. Some people were, spinning. So I passed probably 5 cars that just self-spun, but that second set of tires, I don't know what it was. Like the truck felt really tight, super tight, and I didn't have any damage or anything. So I don't know what it was, but once I got that third set of tires, I could wheel it again.
Yeah, you did a great job of wheeling it. I believe your last pit stop, you came in 4th and then you came in 9th, took 4 tires, and then not long after jumped back up into the top 5.
Yeah, it was, I mean, that's a little bitty racetrack with all those trucks on it. So you're up on your elbows the whole time. It was a lot of fun though. I had a good time, and congrats to, was it Jacob that won and Charlie for second? I mean, they were wheeling it.
Well, Jeff, before we get you out of here, we want to know who helps you get it done on that number 97 machine.
I have a group of guys, Bentley, PK or Paul Cromery, Charlie Woods, James Durr, Chris. I think that's all that were in this race, but we're the old guys rule, OGR, and we do this almost every night of the week. Just have a good time together. Also, like thank my friends in the Coast Guard and my beautiful wife.
Well, awesome stuff, Jeff. Congratulations on a P3 to start off the season, and we'll see what we can get done at Iowa next week.
Yeah, 10-4. Shout out to Bob for keeping this league going. I've been in it many, many years, and you guys for doing the broadcast. Can't wait to watch it. You guys have a good week. God bless. Be safe.
You as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that was absolutely phenomenal stuff here at IRP. Gonna go ahead and show you our finishing results here. Jacob Jensen gets the job done by about a second over Charlie Widener. Then Jeff Hollingsworth, Bentley Glazer, and Ryan Steele round out the top 5. Bob Beltrami, Brian Barnes, Wayne Hutchison, Charles Woods, and Ray Partridge round out your top 10. Then we've got William Fletcher, Scott Kukas, David Weaver, Dustin Burns, PK, Paul Crumray, John Kenyon, James Durr, Barry Phil, Keith Kelman, and Jeff Wills making up your top 20. Michael Milfelt Jr., Julian Ritchie, Justin Michael, Wayne Fleet, Earl Weaver, Chris Walker, and Heath Smith round out the drivers that took the green. Troy Campbell registered for the race, ran some practice laps, didn't end up getting the start, so he'll get a little bit of a shout out there, but not a point. Well, and that should about do it for us here on Sim Racing Media. A phenomenal start to the season for the Western States Racing League, season number 54. These guys have been at it since 1999. Absolutely incredible stuff that they are able to, stay together this long and have so many competitive drivers in this league. I mean, 27 guys showing up here today, and we had a lot of them under a blanket for the first half. So super impressive stuff that this league is able to put on, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get ready to head to the corn state of Iowa, I'm looking forward to it. 140 laps next Tuesday night. Join Liam and Mike the Money on the call for this one. Liam, it's been fun, but here we are. All good things must come to an end.
Yes, sir. They absolutely do. But before we let you go, just want to say, be like Biff, and as you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Have a good night, folks.